Welcome back to audiobooks by H.G. Shuler. Earth Chronicles Book 2, The Blue Woman. Chapter 8. It was the kind of scene he loved to watch. Jen eating a croissant had all the entertaining details of a hit movie. All the ingredients were there, each one systematically laid out, like well-prepared actors eager to play their role. The round plastic container of cream cheese, 2 single-serve packages of strawberry preserves, a foil of European butter, and 1 large, flaky, melt-in-your-mouth, last-meal croissant. And then she went and acted as if she were sitting next to a low window inside an aroma-filled cafe in Paris. Hurriedly, she shoves all the ingredients together underneath the crumbling folds of the breakfast sandwich, smashing it into her mouth, moaning with pleasure as butter and strawberries run down the dimples of her chin. She was having her own personal adventure. When she heard Carter chuckle, she turned towards him in an automatic reaction. He smiles, looks downward as if he hadn't noticed, chuckling again, only louder. "What? Have you never seen anyone eat breakfast before?" He motions with his finger, pointing at her face, twirling it, then pulls it back, rubbing it on his chin. Quickly turning the napkin dispenser sideways, she strains to look at her face. The magical mix of flavors clearly seen running evenly down from either side of her mouth. "Oh, thanks." Tugging at the dispenser, she yanks out several napkins, immediately wiping her chin and repeating the whole smash the sandwich in a mouth procedure. Carter shakes his head. The French, not only do they make delicious food, they make it amusing. She sticks out her tongue, somehow managing to laugh at the same time. "That's so gross. Sorry, I was watching you. Are you staying over late today?" She swallows hard, swabs the napkin once more across her chin. "Yes, the new girl is sick again. I'm not sure she's going to work out. You could quit, you know. I make plenty enough for both of us. And then what would I do? I love my job, and I'm not staying home getting addicted to Facebook or gaming my life away. That's what teenagers are for. You can pick me up later. We could do some shopping. You need a new tablet, and I could use a new phone cover. I ordered one already." "What? On Amazon?" "Oh, well, could we go anyway? I'll pick up a phone cover, and we can eat at that new Korean place that just opened. You've been wanting to try it. I'm good with that. If you're done eating, could I get something before the crowd comes in?" "A bagel, you know how I like it, and a large Guatemalan coffee." "Sure, it won't be a minute." Like clockwork, 7 o'clock hits, and the rush of customers begins. In the mix was a new face, one that didn't appear to be a local. After ordering, he walks up to Carter's table, coffee in hand, with a look of exhaustion. "Mr. Lancaster, sir. I've come a long way. You mind if I join you?" When Carter looks up, he sees a nicely dressed man, but he looks a little haggard and in need of a shave. "Do I know you?" "No, sir. I'm with the New York Times. There's a story that you're involved with. It piqued my interest. Can we talk? How did you find me? We have a mutual friend." "I don't think so. Dylan Hatcheck. Does that flat screen over the coffee bar work?" "Where did you meet Dylan?" "And yes, the TV works. You look a little nervous. I'm not here to harass you if that's what you think. No, it's just Dylan and we've had a little bit of a rocky relationship." "I see. Would you mind if we turn the TV on? At this point, you probably need to tell me what's up. And I didn't get your name." "Pete Navarro. You're the one that covered the incident at the Museum Hotel." "Yes, it was enlightening. There's something coming on in a few minutes that I think you're going to want to see." "An action flick or Western?" "I love Westerns." "A presidential press release." "Okay, you got my attention." He points above the coffee bar, motioning for Jen to turn on the TV. "You know the station?" "NBC. 18, Jen." He spells it out with his finger. "So the Stars and Stripes. This must be serious. You don't know how understated you're being right now. Well, understated or not, you might as well settle yourself down on that seat. We're in a holding pattern till this thing gets going. Another minute or two is all." Jen delivers Carter's coffee and bagel. "Sorry for the wait." Sliding the food and beverage off the tray, she turns to leave. "I gotta go, we're swamped." "What happened at the Museum Hotel? Is this connected?" Carter asked. 5 stories of that hotel, were obliterated. But how? There's usually leaks, but the feds kept a tight lid on that one. I managed to dig a few things up. It wasn't easy, and it cost me some of my savings. If what I uncovered is true, then it's definitely connected. I wouldn't be here today if I didn't think so. Looks like it's coming on. Good morning, viewers in the North and Southeastern United States. The two flags you see blowing behind this podium, which represent this free and great country, have recently come under attack. The attack was not a frontal or physical one. However, its danger was just the same. We consider it a covert operation that's been in the planning stages for at least 2 years. Our uncovering of it was due to Homeland Security's Espionage Department, once considered a subversive group that was involved with seditious meetings and other like operations. We recently discovered their alignment with others around the world who would do the U.S. harm. We are now at this time categorizing this insurgent group as an international terrorist organization. Already we have in custody 9 of its high-ranking leaders. In the next few weeks, Homeland will be making arrests of others in allegiance with this terrorist group, including several more high-ranking individuals. This group of terrorists was in the planning stages of trying to seize control of the U.S. federal government. We want to assure all U.S. citizens of our complete and total response to this malicious attempt on our freedom. We will not stop until all individuals are apprehended and the full weight of the law is brought down on them. Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast. More information regarding this plot will be given in due time. If you haven't already figured it out, Mr. Lancaster, you're to some degree involved. And so, is your wife over there serving up lattes? No, you're wrong. You were interviewed by the feds when the museum hotel imploded on itself. You were there on the 5th floor when it all went down, figuratively and literally. They know that. So yes, like it or not, you're involved. What is it you want from me? I want your story. I already got Dylan's. If you're willing to be interviewed, and by that, I mean you and your wife. If you come clean with everything, I can help you. Let's suppose I agree. What can you do for us? I know some important people with Homeland Security. Help them with their case against the NAIB, and you won't be prosecuted. What kind of help? And how do you know about the NAIB? Like I said, I've been digging around this for a while now. Dylan's already given his story. If your story matches his, we can wrap this up with 1, maybe 2 meetings with Homeland. I don't mean to pressure you, but I don't see how you have a choice. Dylan's got some of your savings, doesn't he? I guess you know him well. I do. And you're not suddenly going to change your opinion of him, are you? I'm not. He was on their side. Did he tell you that? He said when he found out what they were up to, he wouldn't have anything else to do with them. Yes, but that was just to save his ass. He found out after they were done with him, they were going to kill him. Doesn't matter. He'd try to stop them, right? Yes, along with Ansel and my wife and I. I still need to talk with Ansel. He gets the same deal as the rest of you. Look, Carter, let me interview you about the details of what really went down that day at the museum hotel. After that, we sit with Homeland, and it's all over with. We never would have stopped them if it weren't for the others. They're the ones that handed them over to the feds. By that you mean the other NAIBs, including your grandfather. If you know about my gramps, you are informed. Yes, that's what I mean. The feds know there was a split within the group. They've decided to apprehend them all. They've determined that they're all a threat. I don't think this country can ever get anything right. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. I don't know. I'm just here for your story. I do want to impress upon you that if you cooperate with the feds, then there is no cause for alarm. I probably should repeat that. No cause for alarm. I'm not really empowered to go any further with this. Only with what's already transpired. Is that all then? Carter asked, his face losing some of its color. For now, yes. Can Jen and I think about it? Pete gives him the look of trust. I expected as much. Carter slides his chair back, angling it to one side as he does, and stands up. I want to know one thing. He hesitates. Can Homeland Security be trusted? Pete does not answer immediately. Instead, he looks back to the TV where music from the Star-Spangled Banner was playing. On the screen, 2 large American flags hover, blowing atop giant white poles. He turns back to Carter, gives a smile that looks as if it's been printed out and stamped on a postcard. What do you think? I don't know. He shakes his head and thrusts his hands deep into his pockets with a sort of vengeance. Really, He looks up at the TV, his face regaining its color. But I intend to find out. Twisting his neck around to Pete, he continues. When are you coming back? Oh, in the evening. That way you'll have the day to discuss it with your wife. But at your apartment. I need more privacy. Carter yanks his hands back out of his pockets. I'm not sure that's enough time. A tinge of mistrust is in his voice, and there can be seen tiny beads of moisture on the outer sides of his cheeks. Put your arm around her, talk to her. Make sure she understands it will all be over soon. Better to manage this thing and get it behind you now. I feel for your situation. I'm doing everything I can for you. Carter detects the slightest touch of sarcasm, and unexpectedly, old healed-over emotions start creeping to the surface again. He smells a double cross and needs to be careful not to give himself away. Hoping it will do the trick, he nods in agreement, putting on as sincere a smile as he can. You're right, Pete. I don't want this to cover us up with anxiety. Jen and I had enough of that 2 years ago when that hotel went down. Reaching out his hand, he smiles again, and the two men shake. So, I'll see you this evening, say around 7? 7's fine. You need the address? No. Remember, I'm a reporter. It's already punched into my rental car's GPS. That afternoon, news of a far more horrible situation came in the form of a phone call to Carter. The call was from his regenerated grandfather, Harlan. Regenerated ones were dying all over the world. The numbers at this point were relatively low. Just the same, the deaths were unprecedented. Figuring out why was being given top priority, with the co-chosen one Angela and her crew of scientists already working on it. Where did it start? Carter asked. In the U.S., New York to be exact. Out of a little over 100 deaths, 10 have been in the Big Apple. Any theories so far? We have our suspicions. As soon as I heard what was happening, I got a call from Solomon and Danny in lockup. 2 of their group have died. Danny swears it's the government's conspiring against us. She says she feels it. What do you think? I'm inclined to believe her. Of course, the feds do have her locked up. It could just be her way of trying to get me to intervene and alter her current incarcerated circumstance. She wants out bad. Physically, my powers are much greater than hers. However, her senses have been being developed much longer. She could be right about the conspiracy. If she is, we've got some real trouble on our hands. We might not be able to stop them before they kill us off. Angela and James are working on it furiously, but without a starting point, it's been tough. Were you aware Homeland Security's planning on arresting you? We got wind of that from an unlikely source. The blue woman you introduced us to suggested it. What are you going to do about it? We were hoping to open up more dialogue with them, to keep trying to work things out. Truth is, that probably won't work. Looks like our relationship with them is about to disintegrate into a scuffle. They sent a representative here this morning. He's a reporter with the New York Times, but he's connected to Homeland. Don't ask me how I know, because I don't. Not really. It's more a feeling that the reporter thing might just be a cover. I have a feeling you're right. It fits their pattern. Seems every time we talk to a reporter, or a new neighbor, or a waitress, even a cleaning girl, next thing you know, they work for Homeland. They plant more undercover agents than the CIA. Funny thing, though, we've never actually had an arranged meeting with Homeland. Our negotiations with the feds have been directly with the White House, and they've been rocky from the start. After about a year, they broke it off altogether. They've just been tolerating us ever since, or at least that's what we thought. Now, what do you think? Good question. It looks like they've been working this whole time on getting some kind of an advantage over us. I hope we haven't caught on too late. If they're behind the deaths, then they're way ahead of us right now. They made an offer to me and Jen. They won't prosecute if we tell our story on what really happened to the museum hotel. Basically, they want to know everything we know. They make it sound like they just need verification, that they already know what happened. They gave us the day to think about it. Maybe I could use the situation to find something out. You may or may not be dealing with the same people. What do you mean? There's a narrow circle of individuals that appear to be in control of things, And by that I don't mean the president. The ones I'm talking about are a part of Homeland, best we can decipher anyhow. Apparently, Homeland has two sides to them. One is the side we all know, making claims to protect the country from any and all foreign threats. The other, where the real leadership is situated, stays hidden. They're much more powerful, and so is their technology. Somehow you need to figure out who you're dealing with, or who's dealing with you. Maybe a better way to put it. Any thoughts on how to go about it? No. Just be careful. They're probably 2 steps ahead of you right now. And tell them what they want to know. No sense in you and Jin getting locked up like criminals. Anything else? We need to know if they're behind the deaths, or if this is just a glitch in the regenerating process. If the US or any other governments are behind it, we're looking at an eventual war. We would need to regenerate a lot more NAIBs to fight a war. Our leaders on the 7 continents have already been placed on alert. They're awaiting our findings. The sooner we know, the better our chances. Jin and I will do the best we can. That evening, he and Jin watched through video surveillance as Pete waited in his rental car for the security gate to open. Afterwards, he drives through, turns right at the first street, then follows the road past a common area where there's a park with a huge field of grass. Directly next to it sits their apartment building. Once the reporter is inside, the conversation turns lively quick. I take it you're willing to answer my questions? They both nod, Jin especially appearing nervous. From what Dylan told me, the NAIBs try to kill him. Also you, Jen and Ansel. Is that correct? Carter eyes Pete, measuring him from head to toe. That's your first question? We shot at them first. Jin blurts out in an almost hostile fashion. Sorry, Carter. I didn't mean to. No. He points an open hand to her. It's fine, go right ahead. We shot first. We weren't trying to kill them. We each had a dart gun filled with a tranquilizer. We caught them by surprise. That was the plan. We thought that we could take them down peaceably. Well, it didn't work. They were amazing, immediately defending themselves. Did they or did they not try to kill you? After we attacked them, yes, they tried to kill us. They would have succeeded too if not for Harlan and Angela defending us. My notes from Dylan say you were protected by some kind of gel-like solid. He says it shot out of Harlan and Angela. Jen looks at Carter, unsure if she should continue. Go ahead, you're doing fine. Tell him anything he wants to know. Her eyes look like they're ready to pop out of their sockets as she turns back to him. That's right. The thick substance shot out of their hands best I could see and formed a barrier blocking the other's attempt to hurt us. What was it they were blocking? I don't know exactly. Rays of energy, I suppose. Well, what did it look like? It was translucent like water, only different. The energy wasn't a liquid, and it was brighter than water, much brighter. Bright horizontal lines of energy shooting from their hands. Was it like electricity? Of course, I couldn't say for sure, but if you could see electricity, then yes. 4 people were killed and over 20 others injured. Eyewitnesses say that aliens were trying to destroy the building. Did they attempt to bring the building down and hurt others? No, the building was a casualty. It couldn't withstand the immense power being released. But do you think they meant to hurt other people? I don't think so, but I don't think they cared if they did. I don't mean Harlan and Angela. They were trying to stop them. Have either of you ever witnessed this power before? Before they can answer, suddenly penetrating the room is a loud, juddering thunder coming from overhead. Carter shifts his body, glancing out the living room window, quickly twisting his head around as he scans the area. I can't see anything. It must be coming from the south end of the building. No sense in standing here when we can get a better view from the bedroom. In the bedroom, all 3 of them gather in front of the window. Look, Jen shouted. No, not that way. She points to her right. There, do you see it? An army helicopter is coming in low. It skirts the park and a children's playground, slowing and hovering over the large field of grass. After the helicopter lands, they watch closely as 12 soldiers and 1 man in a black suit step out. The man in the suit is joined by 8 of the soldiers, and they dart quickly away, slowing and changing directions when they made it safely past the twirling copter blades. Skirting the edge of the grass, They make their way over to the sidewalk adjacent to the apartment building. The other 4 soldiers stay put with the helicopter. "Pete, you know what's going on here?" Carter asked, peering at him as if he's been double-crossed. "Are they your shadow?" "No, I don't have a shadow, and no one's following me. I was careful about that. I've been up front with you from the start." As the 3 go back into the living room, the front entry door burst open. The man in the black suit hurriedly steps out in front of the soldiers. "Which one of you is Carter Lancaster?" Carter throws up his hand. "I am." "What's this about?" "We're making an inquiry into an incident. Jen and I are already cooperating. We were just giving our testimony on the destruction and casualties at the Museum Hotel. I have come about quite a different matter." "And what would that be?" He clears his throat while looking around at everyone in the room. "Who are you, sir?" He's looking directly at Pete. "I'm a reporter with the New York Times." Pete glances at Carter, then downward at his shoes. "I also have CIA and Homeland Security clearance." Reaching in and pulling out a leather cover from his pant pocket, he flips it open, revealing a government ID. He briefly makes eye contact with Carter before looking back at the man in the black suit. "You're Pete Navarro?" "That's right." "Strange. So you work for the CIA and Homeland." "Doesn't matter. You're not on my list. Get him out of here." The soldiers quickly usher him through the door. He turns his attention to Jen. "You would be Jen Lancaster, his wife?" "That's right. Sorry to make such a scene here today, but this is an urgent situation. It has to do with communications you 2 had with," he clears his throat again, "with the blue woman. We picked up video footage of her in the Hub Coffee shop. You 2 were the only ones she talked to. You're relatives of the NAIB leadership. We believe she's trying to join forces with them. We need to know every detail of her conversation with you." Carter interjects. "You just put out a man with CIA and Homeland Security clearance. Could I ask what branch of the government you are with?" "Let's just say all of the above, only higher. I hate to have to tell you this, but you don't have a choice in the matter. If you don't cooperate, you'll both be taken into custody, and that's putting it mildly." "And if we do?" Jen asked in disbelief. "I won't lie to you. You'll be kept under surveillance, but otherwise you'll be free to come and go as you please." That's the end of Chapter 8 of The Blue Woman. Return to YouTube for the rest of the story at HG Shuler for audiobooks.